Zaxby's cookies. Underrated, overrated. Have you ever had them? I'm going to go ahead and say you probably haven't. And they are pretty awesome. Not going to lie. What's going on, guys? Noah here, 1570 Strength. Back with another little training log. I know it's been a couple weeks for the 3 people that are following. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So this week was a little different. Monday typically is the B week for max effort bench, so either that's raw or in a RAM. And the weekend prior to that Monday, I was doing a little, I guess you call it lawn work, landscaping. I'm not sure what you'd call it, probably landscaping. Around our fireplace, or our fire pit rather. Put some pea gravel around it, put some landscaping edge around it, and also the privacy fence we had in front of the patio, I moved it to the side. The people before us were older. They didn't like the neighbors beside them or in front of them, or it sounds like they didn't really like anybody, but they had a really poor choice on where they put these privacy fence, and they're only maybe 12 foot long maybe, and so had to move that. Decent lead, big job. I got started that morning at 8 and got done at 9 that night. Then actually that day after that, I also had to throw this in here. Kids came by, I had to throw in the conventional deadlift because can let them think I'm gay. Anyhow, the day after that, we went to Lannon's to bench, and I'm not sure. I don't think, and this is where you learn stuff and you go from there. I really think what happened was I was fatigued from the day before. They handed out the bench to me, or benches rather, and it maybe pinned something in my shoulder girdle. I'm not sure what really it is. It's feeling better. Monday it really sucked. So I say I didn't do any kind of benching on Monday. I just went straight to accessories. What's going on after that is, as you saw, I did some rack pulls. I did a warm-up max on that. Now I'm going to this deadlift right here, and I'm still trying to get my deadlift finesse back, right? If you want to say it like that. This is also in a new suit I got. Also trying out some new gear stuff. The Overkill suit I got was supposed to be made for deadlifting too, but I can't really get to the bar at all without looking like a cashew. So definitely not going to use that. So we'll see how that goes. Deadlift was just feeling a little weird. As you see here, we're going into the 3rd day, and this was the dynamic days. And I'm trying to add all these days together because work has just been crazy, and I've had to just modify what we've been doing. So I'm gonna try this out for a little bit. If it don't work, then hey, it doesn't work, and we'll get into that later. So I'm supposed to do some straight bar banded bench. Still wasn't feeling good on the shoulder, so I switched it to the PVC pipe with some suspended weight, just to kind of get some stabilization within that shoulder back, and if that was the issue. I did 5 sets of 5 on that, I believe, and then after that I went to a crazy variation that I wanted to try out, and we'll see how this goes for the next few weeks. But this is it's going to be the cambered bar front squat, and you're thinking, what? Yeah, and you'll see what I'm saying. It's pretty crazy. And then after that, 9 sets of 1 on deadlift with the red minis. So that's really it for training. I was kind of hoping to make that first part a little bit shorter, but that's where we're at. I got 2 topics I'd like to kind of brush over if we can. First one is helpful study habits. And me and my wife have been doing counseling at our church, just working through some issues that I have, and man, I've grown so much in this short period of time that we've been doing counseling, and I've learned many things, but one of the things that's helped me, and this is pretty recent also, we've been reading through the book of Colossians, me and my wife. It's something, the homework he's gave us to do, and we'll read it separately, and then we'll come together maybe that night or a few days later, and we'll talk about it, read it again. What I've been doing that, reading one of the chapters. I think there's 5 chapters in there. I'll read a chapter, and then I've got this book that we're reading through. It's The Exemplary Husband. And I'm not saying for you guys to read that. You can. It's a great book. Love it. But, read God's Word. Have that as the first thing, as your nourishment. And then after that, go and read a book that is also saturated in God's Word, that's pointing you to Him. And it could be in many different topics, but I think sometimes we get carried away with just reading a book instead of reading God's Word, and it's like, why not just do both, I mean, let's just talk about it like we would like training. It's like, okay, God's Word is the main movement for that day, but then the book is the accessories, and it's like, okay, we have the main thing done, right? God's Word, most important thing, but then we've got the accessories, which is equally important. I'm talking about the book as accessories. They're equally as important because they're going to build up that. So make sure that you are always, no matter what you're doing, you're reading the Word first and foremost, and then also you're supplementing that with something else that is pointing you back to the Word, and that could be with stuff that you're struggling with, stuff you're interested in, anything like that. And it's I'm reading this book, and also I've got Doug Wilson's book of When the Man Comes Around, his commentary over Revelations, or my bad, Revelation. And that's really good too. Still kind of, goes over my head. Thankful for Doug Wilson and all that he does for Christ and His kingdom. So this last topic is, do what creates progress. If the exercises, the load, the sets and reps, or the method you're following creates data which you can track and you need to be tracking, and you're progressing, who cares what anyone has to say about what you're doing? Because you're seeing the information in real time, and they're seeing snippets that you may post or you may tell them about, whatever it may be. But you need to be secure in what you're doing, and furthermore, you need to pay attention to what you're doing. And by that I mean you need to be writing it down, old school. You can make it You can make a spreadsheet, and also you can make videos, record your videos. Probably, I'm gonna go ahead and go. You can do all of them, obviously, or at least make a spreadsheet and watch and make videos. But you need to make it where you can see the data, and that you can see that you are progressing. Because at the end of the day, if a reverse band, cambered bar, good morning with chains, wide stance brings up your competition squat or deadlift, who cares what anyone else has to say? You know that you're making progress, so you can see it. The big caveat to all this is you have to have that information. You can't say that you're a raw lifter and then doing a reverse blue band with a slingshot will bring up your raw bench, but then you have nothing to back that up with. You need information, and you need to be able to say, yes, this does. Because it could just be a placebo. You could not actually be making progress if you're not tracking it. So, and let's just go back to methods real quick. If you're not sticking to a method for at least 6 months and you're not tracking what you're doing, well, of course you can feel like you're going backwards. Say if we're going from like a periodized linear program and then you go to conjugate, you can be like, whoa, I'm ready whenever you are. I don't see it, because I know I did it before I ran conjugate, like what I'm doing now. I ran it like 3 years ago, and I was like, I don't see the correlation. First and foremost, I wasn't doing it right, because I wasn't getting mentored by anybody. I wasn't asking questions, and second, I wasn't tracking anything. I've got videos from that, but that's really it. And I would record it, be kind of seldom. Now I've got information that I can look back on, that I've written down, or I have in a spreadsheet I can look back on and look at it. So, guys, that's really it. If you have any topics you want me to talk about, drop them below. If not, I'm just going to randomly make up some topics to talk about that are on my mind. And and we'll go from there. So, guys, thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.